You're very welcome to this informational video about the Braes High School RAP sessions for session 24-25. This presentation will detail what has happened within the school and how you can support your young people at home. Within Braes, we use the acronym RAP to discuss Rigour, Aspiration and Perseverance. This is something we try to instill in all pupils. With Rigour, if it is worth doing, then it is worth doing to the best of your ability. Aspiration, always strive to be the best version of yourself. And perseverance, never give up on yourself because we never will. All senior S4 and S5 pupils took part in RAP workshops before the October break. During these sessions, pupils worked individually and collaboratively to examine the skills and qualities needed to be successful in the senior phase. During the RAP workshops, pupils were challenged to think about a variety of different situations that could take place at any point during the academic year. Pupils were challenged then to think about what would be a positive and realistic solution to each of these situations. They worked both individually and collaboratively to think about things like time management, assessment, studying, communication, and the importance of planning. All of the pupil responses are currently being collated to create a bank of helpful strategies for the future. The RAP workshops are obviously only one strand of the support network available to our senior phase pupils. At Braes, we like to think of ourselves as a community where teaching staff, support staff, outside agencies, and parents and carers work collaboratively to ensure the best and most positive outcome for our young people. Over the next few slides, we will look at what other supports are available within Braes and advice for parents and carers on how they can support their young person at home. As you can see on the screen, there are a multitude of supports available to our senior phase pupils at Braes High School. Many of these supports begin in August at the start of the academic year and will run throughout the year. The vast majority of subjects offer supported study sessions after school throughout the year. The best piece of advice that I could give is to make sure that your young person knows the times that these take place and the specific days in which these take place. This will allow them to plan their week and plan which subjects they can realistically visit each week. The Study Cafe runs every Monday evening in the library. This gives a safe, quiet educational space for pupils to undertake studying or to complete work that is due, but also to seek subject specialists for a little bit of extra advice and support. Individual subjects will offer support evenings throughout the year, which is made clear on our school calendar. For example, English and Maths run a 2-day in-school event after the prelims in January, and this will usually take place at the end of February and the start of March. Easter School runs over 2 days each year with every subject represented by a subject specialist. This again gives young people time and space before the exams start at the end of April to try and find those marginal gains within their subjects. Targeted interventions take place after the prelims. This is called our One Last Push initiative, where young people that are struggling within subjects or need that little bit of last minute support, advice, and one-to-one work will use their core time to work with subject specialists. There are also 2 tracking sessions and 2 parental evenings throughout the academic year, which enables parents to have an accurate overview over progress and gives them time to ask any pertinent questions or find out information about their young person. We would like to draw your attention to some useful websites that could be of benefit as you make your way through the senior phase. Hopefully you'll be aware of the Braes High School website. This is full of information about key dates, course structure, course content, and individual progression pathways. The BBC Bitesize website is a fantastic resource for each curricular area, taking a look at different topics and content. Scholar is also a fantastic resource for revision materials and practice on individual elements within courses. The SQA website is beneficial when you want to look at examples of standards in each subject area, past papers. It also has the SQA app, which you can download and create revision timetables and download a calendar for each day your exam will take place. Get Revising is another website that will help you plan your revision. All you need to do is set up a simple account and it will help you create your own individualized revision planner. The Braes High School section on YouTube has a multitude of different videos from a variety of subjects with helpful tips and advice. Finally, Braes Brightside is our own hub for health and well-being and offers practical and helpful advice for things like anxiety, stress, and coping with the pressures and rigors of exams. All website details will be at the bottom of this video. As I mentioned earlier, Braes High School is a community, and it is only when everyone works together that the best opportunity for success will be presented to our S4 and S5 pupils in the senior phase. Parents and carers have a really important role to play at home to help reinforce the standards and expectations that are set out at Braes each day. One of the easiest ways to support your young person is to keep note and check their tracking report that comes home twice a year to see how they're getting on with each individual course. You should also see information about next steps in terms of what they need to do in order to be successful. There are also 2 parental evenings, one online and one in person, where parents and carers have the opportunity to discuss with staff the progress of their young person and to seek advice on next steps. Another easy way to support is by checking the Teams page on the iPad device. This will give you a good overview of what is taking place within classes, but also let you see any assignments that are due and the dates they need to be submitted. The school website offers useful information on course structures and individual pathways if you have any questions about how courses are set out and what is the nature of the course. It is a good idea to help your child plan and undertake study and revision. As mentioned earlier, there are plenty of opportunities to attend supported study sessions within the school, and it would be greatly appreciated if you can encourage a young person to attend those sessions. Obviously, it would be advisable to reinforce the standards and expectations of rigour, aspiration and perseverance that we try to instill in school. And finally, if you have any concerns throughout the year, it is always advisable to contact the school so you can get an answer to any queries or questions that you may have. It is always important to take on board the advice from those who have been through the process and learned valuable lessons as a result. Over the next few minutes, you will hear from pupils who have completed their courses in S4 and S5, and as a result, have some good hints and tips in terms of how to ensure that your journey will be a successful one.
Looking back at my time through S4 and S5, I struggled quite a lot, and the easiest thing to do would have been to give up. But I wanted to persevere because I wanted to be successful. I didn't do this alone though. I utilised the school. I went to Easter school, supported studies, study cafes, and one-on-one sessions with my teachers. This helped me a lot gain the confidence and skills I needed to be successful. My best bit of advice for you S4 and S5 pupils would be to use your teachers because that's what they're there for. But my best bit of advice would be to believe in yourself.
Getting my exams in S4, I've been working really hard and studying, but I hadn't been seeing the results I've been working hard for. I became more vocal about my studying to my teachers, and they'd let me know that I maybe wasn't studying for the type of learner I was. That's when I learned about being a visual learner. I started implementing techniques that benefit me as a learner, and I started seeing the results. Through S5, I used all these techniques, and these really helped me with all my knowledge-based subjects. My best advice might seem cliche, but there's no better feeling when your SB results come through the door and you know you've put all your hard work and tried the best you can. I'd also say work as hard as you can because what you put in is what results you will get.
By the end of 4th and 5th year at Braes, I had achieved exactly the results I wanted in my Nat 5s and in my hires, and I got 5 A's at higher, and a lot of people would ask, how did you do that? Or you're so lucky that you got 5 A's, but I think maybe they didn't realise actually just how much time and effort goes into the 5 A's. It's something that you really have to work for, and it was something that I knew that I really wanted because I've applied to medicine, so I knew that I would need 5 A's to have a really good chance at my application. So I think because I wanted it so much was really what drove me to be so disciplined with my study. I would try and study every day after school. But actually, one of the things that I found was key to success in my Nat 5s and in my hires was the benefits of physical activity and exercise. Even the nights before my exams and stuff, I would go to the gym, or I would go to the pool and I would swim, or do a fitness class, just anything. And it really puts you, it takes you away from your study, and it forces you to think of something else and to really be motivated about something else. And then when you actually come back to your studying, you feel so much more refreshed having had a break. If I got stuck ever with a bit of work I thought was too hard, in a bad mindset about it, I would maybe go to the gym or go outside, go for a run, get some fresh air, and then as soon as you come back, it feels like everything just falls into place, and all of a sudden you're more productive and you have a clearer head to actually focus on your studying. So I found that was something that massively helped me, and if I hadn't found that as one of my favourite hobbies, I'm not sure how I would have coped with the exam period, because the endorphins actually that you release as well when you do exercise or physical activity, it's just amazing. Even on study leave, I know a lot of people study for long periods of time, but for me, every day I would go on a walk before I started studying, or when I took a break, I would just go outside. Even if it was just for half an hour or 40 minutes, I would listen to a podcast, I'd go on a walk, and honestly just getting fresh air, going outside, just moving about a bit, it creates such a huge difference in your studying. And honestly, that's one of my biggest study tips, is just go outside, go to the gym, or even just go and do something that you really love doing, and you'll come back with a clearer head, able to think about your studying more, and you'll learn more. I also think that a lot of the time for me, I use Quizlet, so I would transfer all my information for all my subjects into Quizlet, onto my Quizlet account, and I would study there. And I actually found that I was very good at retaining information. So for anyone who does biology or chemistry knows you have to remember all your facts and definitions. So I was quite good at doing that. Maybe some of my weaker points was probably problem solving, but that was where, if there's a bit that you're thinking, oh, I'm really good at this, but I'm not as good as this other bit, that's where you go to supported study, and that's, going to it for all my subjects and just really just working hard and asking the teacher, because they're there for you to ask questions. You don't just have to sit in the room. They're more than happy to answer your questions, and there's no such thing as a stupid question. It's your exam at the end of the day, and it's your grade, and just ask the questions if you're not sure.
As a DAS, I can say that coming to S4 and S5 was a difficult time for me, but thanks to the support I was given from the teachers and how I utilised what the school had to offer, I was a lot more confident going into school. The things I did to be more confident was attending supported study, talking to my teachers on what would be the best way for me to learn and for me to improve my grades. Thanks to these things, I was able to improve them greatly, and although at some points I was really scared and nervous, I was always reassured by the school and by my teachers that if I don't procrastinate and if I always give my 100%, I would be guaranteed to secure a strong base for me for the rest of my time in school to come. And thanks to that, I've been a lot more confident from S4, S5 and now in S6, and still feeling good.
We've now reached the end of the presentation. I hope you have found the information that was provided useful, and it has given you some food for thought about how you can help your young person be successful during the senior phase in S4 and S5. Always remember to build respect, earn success, and of course, be part of it.